Hello and welcome. I'm Bob Campbell and this is The Real Review. And with me I've got Todd Stevens and Rosie Finn. Todd's the winemaker and Rosie Finn is, you're technically you're the marketing and sales director, Rosie.
Technically.
That's right, yeah.
Yes.
You'd have a quiet life at the moment because you're quite a large export market. And in fact, you've spent a couple of years in London. Back to the tranquility of Nelson. Do you miss the bright lights?
No, not too much, especially not at the moment. I think New Zealand feels like
haven.
Certainly did for it, like a little sanctuary.
Yeah.
But the nice part of my role in the company is that it tends to take me back to the bright lights when travel's available.
This is the first vintage of a new label, the one I'm featured here. That's the Rosies Block Mutery Chardonnay 2019, and in my view, you've really hit the ground running. So congratulations! And it has Rosie's name on it, which is how does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, the block itself is, I think, personally beautiful. It's a little bit higher than where we are now in elevation, so it overlooks. You can sort of see out to Tasman Bay and over the Kahurangi Ranges, and on a clear day, you can see down the Kaikoura Ranges as well. So the block's pretty stunning, and yeah, definitely the name on a bottle of wine was a extremely welcome and flattering Christmas present from Mum and Dad a few years ago.
And you're highly decorated brand, I'd have to say, earned your winery in our top wineries of New Zealand 2021. You got 8th place nationally, and there's something like 700 plus wineries in New Zealand. That's a heck of an achievement, and it certainly puts you at the head of the group in Nelson. A spot you've held for some time. How does it feel to be 8th?
Well, I think that's definitely, kudos to Todd. Do you want to?
Yeah. This is you've earned this.
Yeah.
Well, we have a pretty flat structure here at Neudorf, so the winemaker generally gets a bit too much kudos. It's probably a team effort. If you really look at the hard work that's been going out in the vineyard, the winery, and then sort of. And we, with Rosie as well, we're pretty chuffed that it's a nice pat on the back for some hard work that we've been doing over the last couple of years.
And when Chardonnay is the hero in Neudorf, and I assume that you enjoy more than the odd glass of Chardonnay. What's in second place when you're not drinking Chardonnay?
Oh, well, for me, it's Pinot Noir. It's something that we also, strive pretty hard for here, and we've got our own sort of, I suppose, fingerprint with Mutery Pinot Noir. But yeah, so yeah, we sort of consider ourselves Chardonnay and Pinot Noir drinkers. We do drink broadly, but Pinot Noir would be number 2.
What about you, Rosie?
Yeah, I think Pinot is definitely one of those wines that I find most interesting to drink, second to Chardonnay. But I'd probably find it hard to go past a really beautiful dry Riesling as well.
Neudorf's has clocked up quite a winemaking history, and I can remember, I'm pretty sure it was the 1991 Chardonnay, Mutery Chardonnay. I remember judging that in an Australian show with Hugh and Hook, and he said the only entrants were Australian and New Zealand wines, and he said, "This isn't an Australian New Zealand wine. This is Puligny Montrachet," and it turned out to be your 91 the Mutery Chardonnay, and it's stuck with me ever since. From 91, when you're obviously already producing stellar wines, has there been much in the way of winemaking changes I know you haven't, Todd, been around for the entire stretch, but has there been a lot of technical developments, or is it just more of the same, or vineyard developments perhaps? How have you evolved?
there's been a few changes, but they haven't been what I'd call sort of massive. We've obviously stuck to the same block, which is the home block. This is in regards to the Moutry, home block Moutry Chardonnay. So the big change there would be vine age, which you can't buy, you just have to wait. I'm certainly benefiting from it now with sort of 40-year-old vines. And then I suppose over time, we've probably pulled back a little bit on, we're just picking slightly earlier, so we're not getting as much alcohol and we're using less oak. So probably dropping from about 20-30% back in the old days, so to speak, down to about 10. And that's with the view that I think the vineyard's producing a lot better quality fruit now, and we feel we don't need, we're probably searching for a bit more precision than we used to. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. It's all wild barrel fermented, and it's what Tim did back in the 90s. So we haven't changed significantly, just little tweaks.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, really, I guess is the...
Pretty much.
Probably a transition to organics as well, and that would be the only one that you could quantify, really, wouldn't it? Everything else is an evolution.
Yeah, I mean, the organics is a philosophical change. We think we see better fruit, but it's observational. And hard to always translate that, whether we actually, what impact it's having on the wine.
Coping well with the COVID at last vintage, does that cause issues in terms of labour force or?
COVID has, we've got through it and we've managed to get through it relatively unscathed, but it does take the joy out of harvest a little bit, if I'm honest, because it is a time for celebration, but, we're having to sort of, and rightfully so, we have to sort of put extra measures in place to isolate or sort of keep different work bubbles. So it just doesn't seem the same. It'd be good to sort of move on from this at some point. Yeah. In regards to work bubbles, to workers, there is a shortage, there's no doubt about it. So luckily for us, we're quite a small winery and we can sort of draw on friends and family and a smaller workforce to make it work. But it'd be good to see the back of COVID.
Good luck and thanks for coming along. And
thanks, Bob. It's lovely to see you.
You too.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Cheers.